Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Disturbed Penguin podcast. As always, this is Xavior Penguin. This is Xavior Penguin. Sorry, I'm still waking up and I'm on my Okay, first off, this whole last week I have not been able to talk, so I completely apologize on if I stumble over my words and whatnot. It's crazy. Anyway, before I get started, I've got to get me a drink of soda. There we go. Hopefully you can hear that on the recording. One second. There it goes. That first real burn of a morning. Gotta love Coca-Cola for that. Anyway, as always, like I said before, this is Xavier Penguin. I just thought I'd go over a few things as I normally do. And again, thank you to all who's listening to this and various other things. I do appreciate it because I think it's neat that people are actually wanting to give a rat's ass on what I have to say and interested in what I've been doing. You know, I've been told that, you know, I kind of have a very drone, and somewhat low, depending. You know, it might be like that today. It's how I feel. That I can put people to sleep. So hey, I'm glad I'm a sleep aid because that's awesome. That someone would actually want to listen to me while they go to sleep. Never mind, just random thoughts running through my head. All right. Anyway, last week was a very, very odd week. And I think that's why I didn't have a podcast. No, I did have a podcast. I didn't go into it because it's still like, holy cow, what the hell's happening kind of thing. Last week, I was in a fender bender on my way to work. It was was it a Wednesday? Can't remember. No, it was a Wednesday, yeah. It was a Wednesday. As I was on my way to work, I wanted to get gas first and everything before I started recording, and all that jazz. Did I have a podcast? I can't remember. Anyway, it happened last week. I got into a fender bender on my way to work, and that was nuts. I haven't been in one of those in years. See, the issue was that I and the other driver that had the altercation was at a four-way stop, and this was one that was controlled by stoplights, and the lights were blinking red on all directions because apparently traffic's not heavy enough to have a full out, oh hey, green means go, yellow means slow down before it hits to red means stop, that kind of thing. And so I was, if we're looking at it clockwise, I was at the 3 position and he was at the 6 position. He was going east and I was going to go west, but I was facing north so I could turn left as if I was going west, if that makes any sense. And from my point of view, I got up to the line. I did my normal thing. I looked left, I looked right, looked left again. I didn't see anyone on my left-hand side. I knew no one was on my right because it was kind of slow during that time of day. And as I was pulling out, from my point of view, this guy comes out of nowhere as if he was going to be, at least in my opinion, running a red light, running a stoplight. That's what it looked like to me. And so I've got me this, the vehicle I drive is a Crown Victoria. And if you remember the old cop cars of days of old, the Crown Victorias with the Interceptor package were popular among police. What's the municipalities or police stations? They were very sought after because, I mean, these things, holy cow. I mean, I don't have the Interceptor package, and I really wouldn't want it. I mean, I get less gas mileage, but hey, I got more horsepower. Pfft, fuck that. I still have an 8-cylinder engine that still eats up gas. I don't need a different engine that eats up more gas but gives me more horsepower. I don't need anything like that. So, anyway, you know, that's the vehicle I drive, and it's pretty much a tank. Well, the driver with this altercation here was driving a little GMC Sonoma, so it's a itty bitty truck. Whenever all of this happened, I barely moved, but he did most of the moving. You know, due to the size and weight. Ooh, that's not cool. Okay, my blinker didn't work for a second. Sorry. And so, as I was making the left turn, it looked like to me he was coming out of nowhere as if to run a red light. Again, my point of view. And I was still all shook up and scared that all this was happening because I always dreamt about things like that, you know, while I'm sleeping. You know, getting in a car wreck or a fender bender and all that. So it's like, ooh, that's kind of freaky. Anyway, so we... oh, come on. With this little fender bender, you know, we pulled off onto a parking lot. We exchanged information, his insurance card, my insurance card, filed a report with the police. No, there was no charges there at the scene. I mean, first thing I did as soon as I got out, and that was the one thing I was worried about, was if that dude was all right. First thing I get out, I'm like, hey, are you all right? Because I was fine. I was just shook up because, hey, I was in this situation. I've never been in this situation before. You know, that's what really scared me. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And this dude was pretty chill about the whole thing. I mean, in my opinion, there wasn't much damage done. All in all, it really looks all kinds of cosmetic. Like on mine, part of my bumper is ripped off, you know, in an itty bitty chunk, maybe a 6x6 chunk where the license plate would be. So we're getting that fixed here soon, thank goodness. And then some scuffs and stuff from his vehicle. And then the damage done to him was basically, after we had met, kind of scraped down the lower portion of his driver's side, of his passenger side, to where it scraped. I mean, there wasn't a big dent. I mean, if it was, in my opinion, it would be in an area where I could give a shit about. So it's like, all right, that's cool. The car did kind of hit his front right tire, or his passenger right tire front. Anyway, and so that's the part that I'm afraid of, because I hope that during all of this I didn't mess his alignment up or anything like that. But, you know, we exchanged our information, went our separate ways. I did watch him to make sure that everything was all right, and as soon as I did, and then that's when I proceeded to come to work and record the podcast. I believe I recorded one. Can't remember. Again, last week was just so fucked up in regards to that fender bender car crash. It was crazy. I mean, I had been in other ones, but not ones where I could potentially be at fault. Because again, I don't know. I only told my insurance company what I saw about what had happened, and that was my point of view, the same view that I told you guys. That it looked like to me this dude was running a red light because he came out of nowhere, and again, it all happened really quickly, and I made sure I let the insurance company know that, hey, this happened really quick. This is my point of view. But there were other incidents where I was involved in and was not the cause of, and that was nuts. One of them, I'm heading down, what was it? What road? Highway 44. And no, I don't call it Far de Far. I'm not a native of St. Louis, and I mean, I've been up here since 2001, but I call it 44. Highway 44. And so with that one, if you label the lanes, 1 being the far right, 4 being the far left, I was in lane number 2. Yeah, I was in lane number 2. And as I'm usually in lane number 1. That day there was a radio broadcast. I listen on occasion to KMOX AM 1120, and they had noted that there was an accident on Highway 44, and the 2 right lanes were being taken up. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, this was kind of in the middle of winter. There was snow on the ground. As far as I know, there wasn't any snow on the road. Again, I could be wrong. But traffic was moving really slow that day. So I get in, I'm on lane 1, I make my way over to lane 2. It starts to get a little busier, so I kind of keep my focus on the road, and it starts to pack up, starts to get a little jam-packed. Alright, what are you doing, dude? Alright, can I finally go speed limit now? Thank you. Oh my goodness. Alright, so, sorry about that. Traffic's moving slow today. So I get, I'm in lane number 2. I get ready to look over and in my mirrors to get into lane 3. And before I even do, I get hit. I mean, and I get hit good. My driver back side gets hit and spins me around to where the front of my car is now in lane 3 facing traffic. I mean, my bumper and everything is just tore all to shit. I mean, I have no real bumper on my back. Things got dented in, but the point of the story is I got spun, and I'm now facing traffic in lane number 3, to where it's like, oh my goodness, if they don't stop, I'm dead. Well, thank goodness there was a lot of people that saw why it happened, and within about 100 feet, I had a diesel looking right at me. Big rig semi-truck looking at me. I'm like, I am glad they stopped, because I would have been smashed. So yeah, that was not cool. I mean, as soon as I got hit, I'm still in the middle of the road. Traffic's at a standstill. I make a call my fiance's dad, because unfortunately I was driving his car at the time. Told him I got in a wreck. Told him I was fine. And then I was able to get out, make sure he was all right. And I got in the car, and I was able to limp the car to the shoulder, because I picked up a couple of big pieces while traffic was at a standstill, blah, and so I made sure that dude was all right, and I was able to pull off on the side of the road. The bad thing was, I was on my way to work at Wells Fargo, doing tech support there, and I dressed in a business suit, the whole suit, coat, tie, white shirt, nice pants to go with the suit, coat, things like that. Oh, heck no. I am getting in my lane. Don't you dare try to merge over my lane. Come on, people. Merging right in front of me within 2 feet of my bumper. Fuck off. Anyway, the bad thing was, it's going to get loud in a second. Got a stupid dump truck coming up alongside of me. Anyway, what happened was I was in my business suit, and the guy that hit me, all right, come on, get over. You didn't read your road signs, idiot. The guy that hit me, and now me, again, I'm trying not to be racist, and I don't think I am. And if I am, please call me out on it, because I really don't mean to be. But it's the whole stereotypical situation where I am a halfway okay looking white guy in a business suit ready to go to work, and here is a black guy just in normal everyday clothes that hits me. And apparently as he hit me, he had hit 2 other people, and they were even older gentlemen in business suits. So I'm thinking, man, this guy's getting screwed, like so bad, just by the situation of 3 men in business suits, and again white men, and then a black man in just normal everyday clothes, Joe Schmo, clothes that you would wear every day, that hit these 3 guys. So the whole stereotypical situation in me is like, man, that dude is screwed. I mean, he is just screwed from every angle. And I actually felt bad for having to report this to our insurance company, because it's like, I know your situation, and to a point, I'm not going to go into it, but it's like, man, I really don't want to file this, because that's just going to look bad on everything. But I had to. I mean, he pretty much totaled my car. The back end. All right, what is going on here? Center lane closed ahead. Center lane closed ahead. All right, so there might be an accident. So totaled the car. I mean, the back end where he had hit near the where the fuel goes in, where the petrol or a gasoline goes into. Bent the actual axle, the back axle, to where instead of my wheels being, just straight up and vertical, oh no, they were pushed in and they were tilted. So that was fun times right there. But I was able to drive it over to the shoulder. Let's see. And my back bumper was gone, and a couple other things. It was pretty bad. But that got taken care of. I still felt bad for the guy. It's like, man. The second time was I was on my way. It was my pilot's birthday, and that's just the nickname I give him. He was a pilot before, but my pilot, it was his birthday, and we all went to a little hole-in-the-wall bar to celebrate. And one of my friends wanted to come over and celebrate with us, but she lived all the way out in off of Page in 270, and we're all the way down in Arnold, basically. We're all the way down in Arnold, and it's just like, man, all right, I'll come and get you. So while my friends are having fun, I'm on, again, Highway 270. Yay me. I gotta take a drink real quick. 1 second. Man, that's good. Oh, it burns, but it tastes so good. Coca-Cola for the win. So, I'm on my way to my friend's house. I'll call her my bartender, because she was at one point. But anyway, we were on our way over, and again, 4 lanes. I'm in lane number 1. I'm in lane number 2 behind this white diesel, snub-nosed cab. One of the short ones, not a luxury one. Lane number 2. I hear on the I'm listening to the radio. I know my exit's coming up, so I move over to the right lane. And in the right lane, I proceed to drive, and I actually do pass the diesel on my left. Now, don't think it was illegal, because I'm staying in this lane. I'm not getting back in front of him to pass him. I'm actually getting in the left lane, so that way I can actually make my exit. All right, so driving in the right lane. I've passed this individual, and I look up in my rearview mirror, and I see 2 headlights. That's coming from the... What the hell is going on with traffic? I am behind a vehicle, and everyone else on all the other lanes are just zooming past me. I'll just stay here. My exit's coming up anyway. So I look up in my rearview mirror. I see 2 headlights. That's from the diesel. That lets me know, hey, I have passed this diesel. I am okay. All right. So I'm still driving down the road, just minding my own business. My exit's coming up in about an exit or 2. And I start hearing this loud rumbling sound. I'm like, what in the hell is this? I look up in my rearview mirror, and all I see is 1 headlight. And then, bam. Oh, wait. Damn it. There we go. Whatever, a big boom. I get hit by the same diesel that I had passed. He hit my driver's back quarter panel on the driver's side. All right, let me get over real quick, 1 second. Come on, blinkers work today. There was a little delay in that one. Oh, and so now you move over to the next... Oh, you dumbass. Sorry, idiot people driving. You would think people would need to take a test in order to learn how to drive. So I get hit on my back right quarter panel, or back driver's side quarter panel. I'm in lane 1. He hits me. I am now in lane 2, getting ready to be T-boned by this diesel. So now, after we're going 60 miles an hour on the road, I am now T-boned up against this diesel's grill, to where I could roll down my window and actually pick bugs off from his grill. That's how close I was to the front of this diesel. I mean, he hit me hard. As he's pushing me sideways on 270, he somehow lets me go and unhooks me from him, to where now he's off in lane number 1. I'm in lane number 2, still going sideways. But now I'm kind of going at an angle to where I'm driving into lane number 3, lane number 4. Bam, I hit the median there in the middle, to where it kind of pops me in the air a little bit, but spins me at the same time. My airbag went off at that point. And so I get spun back around, back across lanes number 4, 3, 2, 1. And then now I'm on a shoulder with like just a part of my passenger backside out in the middle of traffic. You know, like maybe a foot of my car is actually in lane number 1. But I travel back across those lanes, and now I'm outright in the shoulder. Oh my goodness, I was so freaking scared in terms on what happened. All right, guy, let me in. Thank you. And so, oh yeah, that freaked me the hell out. I mean, the only injury I walked away with was a airbag abrasion, to where it kind of burnt my arm a little bit through because it deployed so quick, and that just outright freaked me out. But that was the only injury I had. I mean, I was shook up. I mean, that sudden jostle of like, holy cow, I'm not in control of my body kind of movement. And so that really freaked me out. Totaled that car. I might have to put pics up sometime. I think I may have them on my blog somewhere. I think I made a blog post about it. So yeah, if you want to see pictures of that car, and again, that was also my fiance's dad's car I was driving at the time. Yeah, he kind of teased me this time around. He's like, well, I'm surprised you didn't take any one of my cars. That way, if you wrecked it, I would have gotten a Porsche this time. I'm like, thanks, you goober. That's real fine of you. Long story. What else did I have to talk about today? I want this. Oh, that actually took up most of my time. Well, depending on what's going on, I just may record a second part to this, detailing some extra things, or I just might leave it for the next podcast. I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. We'll just leave it for the next podcast. As always, thank you guys for listening, guys and gals. Thank you guys for listening in to little bits of my life and things like that. I know it's not the best audio, but it's a point where I can talk on my own, unobstructed by too many distractions besides other idiot drivers that are either not paying attention to me or maybe me not paying attention to them. If you have any questions, by all means ask away. Didn't have any questions this week, that's cool. If you have any questions and you want my outlook on them or whatnot, send me an email, shoot me one. They'll come up on the screen. xavior.penguin at disturbed-penguin.net, and the subject line of podcast questions, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities on my podcast here. But yeah, I believe that's going to be it for today. The other subjects I wanted to talk about, I'll just leave those for another time, possibly next week's podcast. But as always, I'd like to thank you all for listening. Thank you for the support. I do appreciate it. My name is Xavier Penguin, and I will catch you on the flip side.